It is the Riot Podcast. Good Friday to you. Happy weekend.
Oh, we're finally here.
You guys got, Nikki, I know you don't got anything. Isaiah, you got anything going on this
That was
weekend?
pretty mean.
I told you earlier I have things this weekend.
Yes, stuff to
Actually,
do.
you're right. You do.
I'm getting my hair done today.
Oh, I thought you
there
were
you
talking
go.
about the RV thing.
Well, there's something that might be tomorrow. A future vacation might happen, but Eric wants to go see something that might be around it.
Yeah.
So I might have to do a little road trip
You don't
tomorrow.
want to get anybody's hopes up yet until it's
No.
actually set in stone. Well, you got my hopes up by telling me.
It'd just be something fun. Does anybody have any other vacation ideas?
Yeah, we're struggling right now.
We're out of ideas.
Isaiah, what do you got coming up?
I have my brother's it's like a surprise engagement party that I'm going.
Well, you
going
just
to
spoiled
tomorrow.
the surprise.
Well, they don't listen to me. Nobody
I'm
listens
sure
to me.
they do. Someone's
They
going
don't
to
listen.
share this with them.
Oh,
now.
they're so
No.
proud. They don't want to ruin your
So
relationship.
He's in on it, but his fiance, she does not know. So we're doing like a surprise party for her for the engagement party.
So are they not engaged yet then, or
No, they
just
are.
it's just a party to celebrate
just a
it?
party.
Surprise, you're engaged.
Yeah, we're all here. No, they're already engaged and
I
they have
gotcha.
a date set and all that jazz. So
Because
they're
normally the next step would be the wedding.
yeah. So
Dang.
they're doing that tomorrow. I don't know. I was told to be there,
Aw.
and I will be there. Other than that, I don't have a ton of plans going on. That's pretty
Was
much
it a
it.
surprise to you that you're invited to that party?
Well, it's my brother,
Yeah, but
also my neighbor.
having to go to the party.
You would find out.
Why would I not be invited?
No,
Oh,
I
you
just
don't
mean
know.
like were you prepared when they said how long ago did you know?
Oh, about this?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 weeks.
Oh,
2
okay,
weeks
so
ago.
not a surprise.
No, not a
It
surprise.
wasn't like
I knew.
surprise. Your weekend is taken.
No, it's planned. It's much more planned than that. It's
All
a big.
right.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. So
Hudson, you got to plan the right way for a surprise.
Did they involve you in the planning?
I'm not involved in the planning thing.
Oh,
There's
that's
so
good.
many people that are going to be there, so
Fortunately,
I
that's
just
very
get to
fortunate.
show up and eat. So it's going to be great.
Aw, well, see, okay. Did you have any good plans?
Might go to the arts festival.
that's
My
good.
gosh,
Oh,
you're so fancy.
Yeah. Appreciate some sculptures.
Just don't
and
break anything.
More importantly, eat some food. Yep. That might be me.
Well,
might be. We'll see.
I love how you're like, yeah, we have a couple days. You're like, nope, just one thing for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But you just do one thing a weekend.
That's
That'll be
enough.
enough.
Well, feel free to text and say hi, and text us what your plans are or how your weekend went to 877-2-RADIO-U and in the podcast today.
So one of the things we talked about today is we talked about a little bit of inflation, right? The grocery prices, all that jazz, a little bit of gardening because of that. Are you guys much of gardeners? Can you garden?
I'm pretty
Do you
horrible
garden?
at it. I worked at a greenhouse for a while. You'd think I would have picked up some skills.
You know how
but
to.
so much of that is done by machines that I learned nothing.
Well,
Nikki,
and
do you garden?
Well, I talked about it in the thing. Like, we're just also not in an area where you really can.
Yeah.
Unless, like, my community or my city, I guess, where I live at, has the community gardens that you can kind of rent a plot of land and then you go and do your garden there. But boy, it looks like work.
Yeah, you're like, it seems like a lot of effort to have to go there.
does.
And it's always elderly people like there all day when I drive by, and it's like really hot out, and I don't want to for just such low rewards back.
Yeah. It's not even like you get something that tastes good out of it.
No,
you know?
they do it just because I think they think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's a
you
good
know, once you're
hobby.
retired, you need to have something to keep you busy. So,
Yeah.
so you don't want to go hang out with the retirees at the garden.
I think what I need to do is buy their vegetables that they're growing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're dead on.
That'd
You are
be a good
dead
move.
on.
Growing up, we always had like a garden and stuff. We would grow like corn and tomatoes and raspberries and blackberries and so all kinds of stuff like that. I do not garden anymore. I did recently grow some grass in my house. Does that count?
That's a
I feel like that's pretty
start.
good, right?
Hey, we're not quite that desperate, but give it some time.
Hey, you
Yeah.
know what? You need some grass. You go ahead and text in 877-2-RADIO-U. I'll tell you how to grow it.
Well, I guess I forgot. I have one blackberry bush, but my dogs walk by it to go to like outside to play, and they always eat the blackberries.
Oh, they're so good too.
Oh yeah, so you never get any. There's no reward from that plant.
Yeah, the blackberries and like the raspberry plants too. It's like we would always have growing up, and we would go out and like pick them, and we pick so many. So like we would make like pies from it and stuff, and it's always so fun. But they were always so good.
I feel that if you had like those bushes, then the bird poop around your house would be the worst.
Oh, the birds would come.
Yeah, because we had a plum tree when I was growing up, and then
A plum tree.
A plum tree. It wasn't like we
Was
didn't.
it for medicine?
That doesn't
Why
really
is it
seem
with
like a.
plums?
Listen, we
I
didn't-
wouldn't even want that.
We didn't plant it and we didn't harvest the plums, but the problem was the birds would come and eat the plums, and then they'd have the most colorful plum-colored poop you've ever seen.
Gross.
All over your car.
Well, that's what you get for having a plum tree.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. But it wasn't ours. It was just like
You moved there.
It sounds like it
that's-
was yours.
We should have known when we saw the plum tree. This is not
You're
what
like,
we
this
want to
isn't
do.
gonna work
Can you
here.
imagine the realtor being like, well, they were going to offer for your house, but you have a plum tree.
Plum tree. He's probably hyping up. It also comes with this wonderful plum tree.
Yeah.
Unlimited plums.
Uh-huh.
I want an avocado tree.
Yeah, I
Like, I would
know.
love free avocados.
Anything else?
It's just a dumb question, but do avocados grow in trees?
I believe so.
In bushels.
Bushels?
I don't know. I don't even know what a bushel is.
That's
the
a unit of
basket.
measurement.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a measure. You mean a bush?
I've never picked a bushel of avocado.
You mean a bush.
That would be a lot of avocados.
It would be a lot of avocados.
A bushel is probably like, I don't know, I'm
Like
going to
a
guess
farmer's
like 7
basket.
pounds or something.
Yeah, I thought a bushel was like when there's like 3 of something that you pick.
No.
Like a pineapple.
Much
A pineapple?
Yeah. Pineapples you pick in
is a
threes.
bush. I don't even know how to spell bushel.
Are you sure?
What are we doing?
Bushel, I believe.
A bushel.
I went to the Dole pineapple plantation. I don't remember there being in threes.
You know,
is
but
crazy.
were they in ones?
I
Singular?
thought so.
Singular apples?
Maybe I was apples or pineapples.
Pineapples, yeah.
A bushel is equal to
How many?
2,150 cubic inches.
So that
You're gonna have to
rounds
help
up
me
to
more
about
with
That's
that.
a lot.
That's about 3.
In Australia, a bushel is 4 pecks or 32 dry quarts.
All right, well,
Okay,
hey,
I haven't learned anything.
So 4,
I don't
not
understand.
3.
while you're looking, let's sound more stupid. Let's go back. Avocados are on trees, right?
They are.
Are they?
We're looking. You have
Go
to
ahead and
search that.
Toss that in.
Avo-
They could be underground. They could be one of those like a potato.
They're not. They're on
Avocado.
trees.
On a vine? Is it a fruit?
Tree.
Stop.
Question
I'm being
mark?
serious. Is it or is it not? Is it a
Avocado
vegetable?
counts as a fruit.
It's a fruit.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's what I
fruit.
thought. That's what I was right.
Yeah. Because it has a seed.
Yeah.
It has
Oh, yeah.
That's a tree with
All right.
avocado.
How many are they growing in? Are
Oh,
they
that
singular?
looks like a lot.
Oh, are they in
I mean, like,
bushels, you would say?
Just, a lot on a tree, but they're all individual.
Oh, they're individuals? Okay, fair. I'll take the
I
L.
want us to all just sit here and just recognize one thing. This is why we're not farming.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
This
gardening.
is
That's
why we're
right.
not growing anything whatsoever.
Unfortunately.
And this
Dang.
is why we will be the ones that die off because we can't grow our own stuff and we won't eat plums.
Look at this,
Yes.
though. And
We
if you
can't.
love avocados, this is the investment you need to make.
I
There's
know.
a million of them in this tree.
I think Eric's family had some growing up because, I mean, in Southern California, you can grow them there.
Uh-huh.
But where I'm at, it's not going to live.
You don't think it's going to
No,
last?
I'd have
No
to bring
chance.
it inside.
They're pretty fragile little fellas, aren't they? The
Yep.
avocados.
And that just won't work. So,
Yeah.
all right, well, guys, I think we have to go now
Yeah,
to
it's
let
been
the
a long
podcast
time.
flourish and let us leave.
All right. We'll have a great weekend.
Have a good day.
See you guys.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Inflation is running rampant. And
There's your catchphrase.
It's my catchphrase. And one of the things that inflation is affecting, of course, is grocery prices. And we talked about
Yeah.
this yesterday. Everything except rotisserie chicken, the price is going up. And so it's causing some people to do crazy things. Besides buy rotisserie chicken, there's another alternative if you want to save money on your groceries.
Well, you can't live off a hot bird forever.
No, that's right. It's gonna get old, and you need side dishes. So what do? People are gardening.
Oh, is that? Oh my gosh, is that where we're at?
That's how bad it's gotten.
You know-
we're living off the land.
You know, it's bad when we're trying to have to garden.
Yeah. That's a last resort when you're actually resorting to manual labor to get your food. But that's what people are doing. Vegetable gardens, according to Chuck Hafner, the owner of Chuck Hafner's Garden Center, who they referenced for this article. He says if you get a vegetable garden, it could save you over I don't know. That's not the right way to put it. It could yield you over $400 worth of vegetables every year.
Okay, that's him. As someone who has tried to garden in the past, here's where we're at. I can't garden. I can't in my neighborhood. They won't let you garden.
What do you mean? Why
you can
not?
have a tomato plant or like a few things here or there.
Yeah.
But unless I got a plot of land at the community garden, I'm not allowed to have like garden beds in our neighborhood.
Well, I feel like that's an excuse. There's all kinds of things you can do nowadays.
Well, creative gardening, okay. But I
Yeah.
think it also just encourages, like, I have a friend who was like, they wanted to try to start learning how to make bread. You know, like little things.
Yeah.
Let's not think we're going to yield a harvest. Because I'm sorry, we're just not that type of gardeners.
Yeah.
But you could try to, cut back and make your own little things here or there.
I think you, first of all, need to show your neighborhood the prices of groceries and say these are desperate times to call for desperate measures. I'm going to get down out and on my hands and knees and I'm going to start digging with a trowel and putting some roots down and see what happens.
Do, but what they do
Who's
is
with me?
they hide them behind their houses, like in certain corners and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I tried with tomatoes one year and I must have had a good one. I got like 25 tomatoes out of it.
Nice.
But then I looked and I was like, well, that can't feed us forever.
No, that's right. They all come at once, right?
Yeah, they all come at once. And so unless what's the word? Canning.
Oh, yeah.
It was just.
You got to learn that too.
It was a real big hole to fall into.
It's all a part of, we're going back. We're going back in time to a simpler time where it was actually much more complicated because instead of just going to the store and picking out what you want, you had to plan months in advance, go out and pour blood, sweat, and tears into the dirt to get some kind of crops and then can it, and then who knows what else you have to do with it.
So, Chuck, I'm sorry, Chuck. I don't think we can garden quite the way you think we can.
No, I also have to just take issue. Chuck, you really think... What is $400 worth of vegetables going to do for me? I'm not going to eat. I don't eat $10 worth of vegetables in a year.
He must mean the whole season, though.
Yeah, but that's still. I don't need that much.
Well, he thinks you do. We should be canning it. That's what this leads to.
How do I grow cheeseburgers at home? Because that's what I want to eat, and that's what's even more expensive.
Dude,
I'm not
we
really
need cattle.
I'm not worried about the lettuce and tomato prices. I'm worried about the chicken and the beef.
I know, and I definitely can't have chickens.
So
then they say fresh fruit is up 10% more than it was this time last year. I can't grow fruit. I can't have fruit trees. What are you
right.
doing?
Nobody can do that.
I put in 2 apple trees, and I'm 3 years later. I got nothing.
Right. Exactly. That's just inefficient.
So I hear what he's saying, and I know a lot of us are trying. It's just we can't ever get as much out of it as we think.
Doesn't it make you glad you don't have to go back in time? Like you don't have to go.
Want to be.
You don't have to go that far back in history to where you could only eat. Even if you could eat more than what you grew, when you were able to grow, you still only had like 5 things that were available in your neighborhood.
You're right.
That other people grew or harvested, or cows or whatever. It was we've got the world at our fingertips now.
Gosh. Oh, and you must have had to work with your neighbors and like share and
you
talk to
had to
them
have friends
nope. And if you went to
get
bed
up at the crack of dawn,
you went to bed with the sun.
Yeah. Yes. Not a better time for sure.
I don't want to pay inflated prices, but I also don't think I can really garden.
Yeah. So we're stuck at a hard place where we just got to cut back.
No, actually, you know what it is?
What is it?
Chickens it is.
Yeah.
Hot bird.
That's it.
Rotisserie chicken's all we can have.
That's all we can have.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Isaiah, can you tell us, you're the newsman, tell us about the chocolate tank situation?
So essentially, if you've been listening to my news, which I'm sure you all have, obviously, you would hear me talking about 2 people that fell into essentially a vat of chocolate, and it was actually pretty serious. They ended up getting flown to the. One of them got.
Wait.
What? What are you saying?
I was saying this is pretty serious. I was about to say that one of them got flown to the hospital and one of them got driven to the hospital, and Hudson's over here hot dogging about the story.
Well, they're okay, right?
Can you hear?
Their condition is unknown at this time.
You're confusing. They're alive.
They are alive, as far as we know.
Have problems.
So what? They fell into a vat of chocolate. Was it
at the Mars M&M factory, which is close to Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Even though they're not associated at all.
But they're
in fact, they're competitors, oddly enough. But so what? Was there chocolate in the tank?
Yes, there was chocolate in the tank. I assume they were going for like a little like sly like handful as they were going on the tour.
That's
They
why
just
I'm
kind of
singing the
slipped
song.
in.
Well, it's workers, right?
I don't know if it's workers or
Oh,
people.
I thought it was workers.
Let me look back at the story and see
Come
if it's
on.
sad.
Yeah, you're the newsman.
What do you
not-
want from me?
If not, who's letting you get so close to it? They said that.
Well,
the
we've
first
all watched Willy Wonka, Nikki.
I know that's true. And if you're so desperate, you'll
Yeah,
go to the thing of chocolate.
If you're Augustus Gloop.
They said that 911 was called, and the first person was taken out of the tank at 3:10 p.m. The second person, the last one, was out by 3:25 after they had both fallen into the tank of chocolate.
That's a 15-minute discrepancy there between the
Wow.
two of them. That
I
must
know.
have been hard to get them out.
Yeah. Well, I was reading on a little bit, and it says they actually had to like cut into the tank.
Oh, to get them out?
Yeah, I guess they
Aw.
couldn't lift them out. I don't
some
even
thick
want to make any
chocolate.
comments about that. But
They
they could not
actually-
lift them out through the top.
Technically, they've not confirmed if there was chocolate in there or not. I assume there was.
Yeah, it sounds like. I mean, it. Of course, we can all joke about hopping into a tank full of chocolate and just guzzling down sweets, but it doesn't sound like that. Like that'd actually be a scary situation, especially if it's dark. If you fall
Dark
in and
chocolate?
yeah.
We have to stop.
I'm sorry.
We have to stop.
If it's dark in the tank, I
Yes.
understand. I understand.
No, I get what you're going with.
I understand.
Yes. Yep. If it would be frightening.
No, of course it would.
It might be
Very
fun.
yes.
In fact, you might even have at the first moment you might be like, "Hey, this is kind of fun," but then once you're like, "Oh no, I can't get out," and it's probably a lot harder to swim in chocolate than it is to swim.
I know.
And,
What do
and
you
you don't
think-
want to be sucked
yeah.
up into that tube, that vacuum tube, like in Willy Wonka.
I don't know if
Well,
it's
that's
exactly.
not how it
it's not
goes.
like
It could
Wonka.
be. I mean, the
It's
chocolate
not.
has to go somewhere.
You're right, but thankfully they just don't have more details that they've announced. But thankfully they're okay.
Yeah, what do you think it would be like? How like the thickness of melted chocolate is pretty thick, so I just can't imagine. Like, would you be able to move in there? Is there swimming capabilities? Do you think? I feel like you'd be able to move.
I feel
Listen,
like it'd
if they
be
have
in
to rescue though, then you probably can't move around that
Yeah,
much,
you
or
can't, must not be able to.
I
you
would
couldn't
bet
get out.
It's maybe it's similar to like quicksand or something, where you're trying to keep your head above, but it might be actually harder to like tread water in there, And think about this too. This is what's really sad. This is at a factory.
Yeah.
It might not have been turned into like the chocolate that you would eat in M&Ms or
Oh,
whatever.
sure.
It could have been pre that.
The disgusting chocolate.
And all unsweet, like the keto
Oh
chocolates.
yeah.
Yeah.
the cacao.
Yeah.
It could have been hot too. It could have been really hot.
That's a great point.
And like when you think about them trying to get them out, they probably like it isn't like the chocolate is sitting at the very top of the tank.
Uh-huh.
It probably was like way up. They probably had to reach really far down.
Yeah.
To actually
Which is
get
why they
them.
couldn't pull them out and they had to cut into the side, right?
Yeah,
That
that makes
makes
And
sense.
then think of all that chocolate. I mean, either way, if there was chocolate in there, all that good chocolate there, you're not using that.
So
It's got
even
people's
though
sweat and hair in it.
it feels like at first you're like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I don't think it would have been.
No, definitely not. So if you've been dreaming about falling into a vat of chocolate, put that dream to rest.
No more.
It's more of a nightmare.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Gas prices are so high.
That, or what's your inflation quote?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Inflation is running rampant.
It's running rampant.
Yeah. You got to go, how high are they?
How high is the gas prices?
They're so high that the police in Mount Pleasant, Michigan won't come help you because they can't afford it.
Oh, really?
They've,
that's
Mount
bad.
Pleasant, Michigan, actually, Radio U 1017, home of also Central Michigan University.
Man,
They are the town of Mount Pleasant, the Isabella County Sheriff Department actually has said that they are going to handle some calls a bit differently for now because, simply put, they are feeling the pain at the pump.
I guess I thought that like gas stations had gas pumps there, so they could fill up. And boy, the nice me was like, I'm sure it's free for police
Right,
officers.
they got to have a police discount.
I'm sure there's something, but you're right, it's not.
Yeah, so with gas prices getting so high, the sheriff, Michael Maine, has said that they're going to start with non-in-progress calls, non-life-threatening calls, and calls that do not require evidence collection or documentation.
Aw.
They are going to start handling those over the phone instead of sending an officer out to
In person?
in person to handle it.
They say that they'll try to manage those. They want the community, the safety is a primary goal, and they'll continue to respond to the types of calls that need them to be there.
Yeah, so I guess you could look at this in a very positive way of they're using the taxpayer money. They're trying to
being
use it. They're trying to stretch it, use it as wisely as they can.
They have an annual fuel budget, and the department.
They've blown through that probably already.
They did. The department spent already, and they have several months left on what would be the budget for that year that they have.
Jeez.
It's just sad because, it makes already probably a very stressful, hard job to now be even harder if you feel like you can't go to the scene to go, do it like you normally do.
Yeah, but I also like the precedent that it sets.
Dude, I don't want to do anything by phone.
That's actually
I can't.
You nailed that one.
I don't want to make a phone call.
Neither
and go
do I.
through
But
it.
you would never think of in all the COVID stuff and whatever. You'd never think of people working from home, police officers.
No.
But now they're even doing it to save money on gas. So if police officers can do it, so can we somehow.
Okay.
Everybody work from home. We got to all work together.
You're pushing that again. We're not working from home.
No, but this is by choice. To save money.
To save gas money.
Yeah, it's not just because we feel obligated to.
Even off air Hudson said a few times, like working from home.
Yeah,
We're not
it doesn't sound so
pushing it.
bad. No,
No.
Nikki, we could totally do it.
Okay.
There'd just be a long delay between everything we'd say to each other.
That's true. And I think it's a non-emergency morning that we have to work from home.
Right. See, it's not so bad, is it?
Okay,
not
fine.
so bad.
We'll work on it.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
You know what time it is? Time of the year.
It's summertime.
It's summertime, and that means wedding season.
Hey, hot wedding season.
I think anytime we talk about weddings, I say it's wedding season, no matter if there is a wedding season or not.
Well, no offense to people who have wedding stuff to go to in the summertime, but especially like if it's outdoors, it's just so hot and hard to sit through that stuff.
You have to dress up. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, that's a pain any time of the year for any party.
But yeah, especially when you have to get up all in a suit and dress or whatever and get out there and you're supposed to dance in the hot sun.
You don't mind that. You like that
I don't mind it. I think that it's tough in the summertime, though, to kind of deter like what you're going to wear, like how the elements will affect your outfit.
Yeah, for sure. So what we have here is a bunch of people who work in the wedding industry, and they say basically you can tell right away that they, you work enough weddings, you can tell which couples will last and which won't.
Oh, man, that's awful because do you say anything? You're like, hey, I have a pretty good track record.
No,
and I
because
don't
then you
no
might not
way you
get
can
paid.
say anything.
You might not get paid.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to last, unfortunately. Sorry, this is your big day and all. I just don't think this is going to work.
Well, if it's so bad, though, I feel like I would have to say something.
Yeah, that is, I don't know. So they have a bunch of like red flags they've listed here from people on Reddit that are saying that they're wedding industry workers. These are red flags that they could tell right away that you knew that this marriage is not going to last. I was reading through most of them. You don't have to be you don't have to be somebody who's been to a lot of weddings to know that these are red flags. Like this one. I photographed the groom and saw his eyes light up when a guest arrived. I looked over and it's a cute woman in a short dress. He picked her up and swung her in his arms when he walked over to her.
That wasn't
best
his
smile,
bride?
Yeah, best smile I captured
Could have been
all
his
day.
cousin. Could have been his sister. How do we know?
No,
Yeah.
they only lasted 6 months. It wasn't.
You don't have to be any professional to know for some
And
of these.
I feel like this is not just around weddings. This is like, hey, if you're just curious about how your relationship is going, maybe these are some flags.
That's a
that
good point.
Can help peel back the onion of your relationship and see how it's going.
This is a tough one. The groom danced with his mom more times than he danced with the bride.
Aww, maybe
That
that's
is-
just
That's just
overbearing
cute.
He just
mom.
really liked his mom, right? But that, you know what? He might have had mommy issues. And so that's a red flag right there. This one is great. When the bride and groom argued over why the groom's mother shouldn't get all the money given to them on their wedding day.
What?
That's
Ouch.
a red flag. You're going to have some issues as a couple if that's even if that's in the discussion. There was some I was thinking, what do you guys think? You think you can tell? Like I've worked a few weddings as a DJ, but we're not really wedding workers, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can tell? Okay, I guess maybe put it this way. You think you can tell better with people that you know or better with strangers and you just see like a few things and you're like, oh, I can tell?
Probably with people you know, because like you can tell if a friend is in a relationship and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And they just haven't had that revelation yet.
They haven't had a. Do you say anything in that case?
Depends on the friend.
Yeah,
But probably usually not.
You think you can
I
tell,
only
Isaiah?
will if the friend brings it up to me. Like, I don't really know if this is going to work out. I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that. It's weird, oddly enough.
You could do better.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are all that compatible now that since you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also agree, but I wouldn't go out of my way to say that before. If they're happy, then they're happy, even if I think that they won't be happy for very long.
Yeah, but what if they're not happy?
Aw,
Well,
sad.
you know, it's their life. You know, I can't be twiddling my thumbs trying to puppeteer everybody. If
That's
you
a good
want to
point.
live in that way, you can live in that way. That's what makes you happy. But for me, not for me.
I've never had to confront anybody about possibly, a relationship that I don't think is going to work out. I also don't know how my hit rate is on predicting whether they'll
Low.
last very long. You don't think?
Low. I
Yours
feel like
is low?
I in your mind you think you know, but then people make it that you would never think would. Like,
That's
I feel
for
like
sure.
like you think, oh my gosh, there's no way they're ever gonna be compatible. There's no way this will work, and then it ends up working out.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the ones that you think you're gonna make it always don't, and the ones that you don't think you're gonna make it always do.
The ones that are always so like lovey-dovey or emotional
Yeah.
and stuff, I find like they end up hating each other the
Yeah.
most.
Oh yeah.
And
the
one-
more
It's
the
always
more-
toxic when they end it too, and they seem like they were all over each other.
the more they post about each other on social media,
Yeah.
the more likely it is to end.
They're overcompensating.
Exactly. That's take that tip away
well,
from our show.
look at
today.
that. How nice. We're just sharing red flags.
Yeah.
What a lovely thing to talk
Telling
about
you
going
why
to the
being
weekend.
proud of your significant other means your relationship's going to end.
That is very ominous of us
It
to
is.
just say.
Yeah, sorry about it, but it's true. It's Jimmy Rock. It is the
I'm
riot.
sure you guys will stay together.
You're the exception that proves the rule.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.